Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto pit Wilson Fisk against Daredevil one final time as the man without fear decides it's time Wilson died for the pain he has caused him and all of New York City. Chip Zdarsky wraps up his Devil's Reign in a flawless, possibly controversial, yet satisfying way as we get one final battle to the death between Daredevil and the Kingpin. I enjoyed immensely that there was one final vengeance-fueled fight to the death between these characters, but the highlight of the issue and Zdarsky's entire run has to be the way he stuck the landing. And a landing that not just saw the bad guy get away scot-free, but also literally sail off into the sunset with a happy ending. That seldom happens in media these days, and usually the good guy always wins totally. And here Daredevil did win and save himself and New York, but Wilson Fisk also managed to get a happy ending with Mary, and I'm immensely happy about it, since even after everything he has done, I think he deserved it, since it finally means the character has moved on from his petty squabbles and moved on from hunting Daredevil and obsessing with Daredevil, and he can finally get to living his life. It was a huge challenge for Zdarsky to pull off this, as well as the whole series, and I think he did it quite masterfully. Marco Cicchetto brings the series to an extremely strong conclusion with some fantastic artwork that sold the script's tension-filled battles, cutting back and forth from the big bombastic Avenger-centric one with Luke Cage and all these other characters to the more personal one with Daredevil and Wilson, ramping it all up with hard hits, excellent coloring, and really cinematic paneling. Devil's Reign issue 6 was a masterful ending to one of, if not the best, Daredevil runs in history, delivering a wholly satisfying but guaranteed to be rather controversial ending that also closes out an epic chapter in Matt Murdock's life but opens another huge chapter in the process. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Devil's Reign issue 6 finds the Avengers continuing to battle the Purple Man-influenced Thunderbolts as Kirsten contacts Daredevil, telling him that Wilson Fisk killed Matt Murdock. Matt knows that it was really Mike Murdock, his brother, enraged at what Fisk has done. He races away from the battle, knowing that he will kill Wilson, as he tells Kirsten to run and get to the DA's office and tell them what has happened. The Avengers wonder where Daredevil has gone, as Luke Cage knows that there are too many people there and the innocents will get hurt, so they need to focus on whatever it takes to shut down the Purple Man. Mary, meanwhile, is glad Wilson is home, wanting to go into lockdown as she notices he's covered in blood. He says it's not his blood, it's Daredevil's, and finally, it is over. He grabs his go bag, knowing that they need to leave now, but Mary wants to stay and fight. As they get into the car, Wilson tells her that they don't need to now, since all they need is each other and nothing else. He knows he was a fool to think he needed anything else other than her, as Elektra appears, diving through the car windshield and stabbing Wilson in the shoulder. The car crashes as Elektra tells Wilson that she is going to kill him for what he has done, as Daredevil appears, knowing when Wilson dies today, Daredevil will be the last thing he sees. Wilson is shocked to see Daredevil, demanding to know why he won't just stay dead. Daredevil says the only way he is dying is with his hands around the villain's throat. Back at City Hall, Doc Ock demands his variants use their perfect minds to break free from the control of the Purple Man, when suddenly he is blasted back into the building by Iron Man, who wonders if he ever considered inventing some armor for protection. The Fantastic Four and Moon Knight arrive to back the heroes up against the people and Thunderbolts, as Joe makes his way to his father, using his power to stop US Agent and Whiplash from taking him. Wilson meanwhile attacks Daredevil, who knows thanks to him killing Mike, he cannot be allowed to live. Wilson grabs Matt, smashing him into the car as he tells the hero that he was content with his life. Mary meanwhile battles Elektra, telling her that the costumes are like viruses infecting her brain and ruining lives, so she needs to burn it out. Elektra dodges Mary's fire, reminding the woman that she was forged in fire. Wilson tells Daredevil that he ruins everything by attacking his memories and mind, hitting the hero down. The Purple Man meanwhile is confronted by his son Joe, who demands to know where his brothers and sisters are, but Kilgrave says that they are all dead and he has their power now, so Joe can just die now. He unleashes his power on the boy as Luke races to save him. Elektra manages to take down Mary, telling her that she relies on her weapons too much, whereas Elektra herself is a weapon. Wilson tells the defeated Daredevil that they can put him in the electric chair for all he cares, since if it's for killing the hero, he will die with a smile on his face on his way to hell. As Matt is slowly choked to death, Matt begins feeling the energy of salvation and the word of God as he grabs Wilson's Purple Man cane from the wreckage of the car, using its power to make Wilson stand back. He tells the villain that he wants wants him to suffer for his sins, wanting him to think about all of the lives he has destroyed. Wilson begins to think about them all, but then he stops, breaking the controls since he doesn't care about them, making Matt realize that he is true evil. Daredevil smashes the cane against Wilson's face as Luke puts his own life preserver on Joe, nullifying the Purple Man's effects on him as the villain tells Luke to kill his son. Daredevil beats Wilson mercilessly, telling himself that he needs to die because they kill monsters and slay Goliaths, as Luke resists Purple Man's influence as the villain demands he kill Joe, while Daredevil finds one of Elektra's sides, grabbing it and apologizing to Mike for what he's about to do. Elektra, however, says she won't stop him, knowing that he deserves to die, but Daredevil isn't an assassin. He's an idiot who decided to wear the Daredevil costume and be a symbol for people watching. So what type of symbol or man would he be if he killed Wilson Fisk? Luke meanwhile resists Kilgrave's influence, telling Joe that he is not alone as the boy unleashes his own power, getting his father to stop. Daredevil meanwhile decides not to kill Wilson, telling Elektra what he did, as the Avengers meanwhile round up the Thunderbolts, putting the power dampeners on them as Multiversal Ox managed to escape. Taskmaster tries to escape as well, but Spider-Man knows that he's not going anywhere, taking the villain down. Jessica Jones soon finds Luke, who assures her that he is okay, knowing that Joe was incredibly brave. The boy suddenly sees his brothers and sisters alive and well, reuniting with them as Jessica knows that now with Wilson arrested, Luke is running for mayor unopposed. Wilson meanwhile was taken across the Queensboro Bridge by one of the Thunderbolt guards, who tells him it's an honor to be arresting a sitting mayor, asking if it's true he tried to control everyone in the city. The man removes his helmet, revealing himself to be Butch, who says that it seems like very small thinking on Wilson's part. Butch takes his father to see the Stormwinds, who know his son appears to be smarter than he is. Butch reveals that the Stormwinds came to him with a great deal, giving him immunity in exchange for increasing the crime rates in areas they want to buy up. They know that Butch will thrive under them, and as for Wilson, they will clear up his charges so he can begin his campaign for president. They know that he would work for them and they would guide him on policy, but he would be a free man. Quinn puts on a glove, knowing they don't like people touching them, but he wants to shake Wilson's hand to cement this momentous occasion. Wilson thinks about the successes and failures of his life and how he let down Vanessa, Richard, and now he gets to be president, so how could Butch not look up to him? He shakes the man's hand, but he begins crushing it, knowing that he would never make that mistake again. The guards try and take Fisk down, but he crushes their helmets, getting one to shoot Una in the shoulder, as he knows to live under the thumb of one is to live under the thumb of them all, and he won't be making deals with the devils anymore. Butch backs up his father, taking down the guards, as Wilson knows that while he may call himself Butch Farris, he is very clearly a Fisk. He knows that he wasn't there for his son, but he can be now, wanting him to spread the word that Butch has killed him after the murder of Matt Murdock. He takes his leave, telling Butch that this is his inheritance, the story of a king and the story that made him a kingpin. Butch is still shocked to hear that Matt is dead, knowing that it was actually Mike and he should have listened to his friend. 1 week later, Elektra meets with Matt on a rooftop, asking if he's ready for this. Matt is, knowing that Matt Murdock is now dead and the world thinks it, so he has nothing in New York now, and so far it's been a horrible road, but he's ready to think bigger. He knows that she wanted him to join her and start the fist and take down the hand, so he will, but he has ideas beyond that. Elektra is glad, knowing that there are many ceremonies to join the fist, but Matt cuts her off, telling her that he wouldn't have it any other way, wanting to go and save the world. Elsewhere, Wilson and Mary get ready to board their yacht, but Wesley doesn't think they should go. Wilson tells his friend that he has been invaluable, hoping that from the bottom of his heart they will cross paths again. Mary doesn't like this, knowing that they could rule the city from the shadows and rebuild, but Wilson wonders to what end, since the world has given him the message and they've taken everything away, and that means nothing because he still has her. She asks him where they are going as they sail off into the sunset, with Wilson telling her that they are going to go and find their happiness.